You know, Fallout 4 has a ton of freaking mods. Some of these mods add a new world space, some new equipment for you to use, some new armors or clothings for you and your allies. Well, in today's video, I want to show you some mods that I don't think are as useful as some of those. These ones are really small. A lot of people would look down on them and say, hey, these are useless, but I think you should download them anyway. I can't really figure out what to title this video. I'm going to name it a bunch of utterly useless mods. I don't think they're actually utterly useless. That's like an exaggeration. Obviously, if they were utterly useless, I probably wouldn't be putting them in a video. But either way, they're mods that probably a lot of people have overlooked that are kind of funny or just kind of humorous in nature, and I think make the game a little bit more pleasant to play, especially if you're on one of your countless new playthroughs. You'll be able to find a link to everything I show you in today's video down below. I'm also going to be doing another fun fact at the end of the video, so if you want to watch to the end, you can check that out. And that Deathclaw design that I've been advertising is actually going away tomorrow yet again, so if you guys want to get it, today is the last day you will be able to get it. You get it for like 20 bucks on Redbubble and have it in a few days, and otherwise you won't be able to have it. So with that, we'll just jump into the regular video. So first and foremost, we do have car sounds for power armor. I feel like this one's just better seen than said. Pretty self-explanatory. It's really minor, but I actually love this. I think it's so funny, and it really just makes getting in and out of power armor an otherwise pretty tedious task if you're like me and have played through Fallout 4 many times, just a little bit more enjoyable because it's kind of funny. I'm sure this mod will get old after a few hours of using it, but for those few hours, it definitely feels pretty special. Again, it's super minor, but just having that sound changed right there just makes it really funny to get in and out of power armor. I mean, I guess you have to actually be in a car, like maybe I guess if you live in a major city, you don't know what this is, but yeah, when you get in and out of a car and you leave the lights on or your windows open or something, it will actually make this beeping noise, which now power armor will do until it is closed. They have Corporate Wasteland. This is actually one I've shown you in the past, but it was on a different video in a more serious tone, and I think it's just kind of a funny or cool thing to have in the Wasteland and in your save. As you could probably guess, more or less what it's going to do is replace a lot of the logos in Fallout 4 with their real world counterparts. So Nuka-Cola becomes Coca-Cola. And you can probably get the gist of things from there. The background, I think, speaks largely for itself with this one. Also, it's actually really enjoyable. I played with this for quite a while after using it in my original video, and it was just one of those things that it changed things up, not too much, but just enough for it to be refreshing and entertaining. And also an added note, if you guys check this out the original time I did cover it, since then it's actually been getting pretty consistent updates, with the most recent one coming January 5th, only a month ago. That's pretty awesome. This mod author has been adding more and more content to this, replacing even some more of the brands in Fallout 4 with their real world counterparts, and actually putting things like posters and things like that in the wall also. Then we do have the Grabbityhammer. This one's just meant to be fun. There's really no point in using it. It's kind of overpowered, but actually not super overpowered. As you can probably guess, as you hit people with this Grabbityhammer, they will go flying. Gravity is defied with the use of this single magical tool, and it's a ton of fun to use. Again, one of the interesting parts about this is it doesn't actually like take down enemies super fast. It does only fairly low damage, especially if you're at the later levels of the game. So what that means is you're going to hit enemies very far and high, and they're just going to get back up, and you're going to be able to do it over and over again. This may become tedious from time to time, but then just switch to another hammer or a regular thing. When you want a little bit of entertainment, or you have that one enemy that's really pissing you off, this is a great way to make his eventual demise a little bit more enjoyable. From the same mod author that brought you the car sounds for power armor, we do have Jackinthebox. So now as you are cranking your laser musket, it will make a Jack-in-the-Box sound. This is a very similar vein to the other mod I'd show you, and it's super simple, but I think super enjoyable and actually really funny, especially when you're in like an intense fight and you're just listening to like doo 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 doo. Obviously mine only has 2 cranks, but if you're using like a 5 or 6 crank variant of the laser musket, you obviously will have way more of those sounds at a rapid succession, and I imagine it's going to be very funny. Another really simple one that I personally found entertaining. Maybe I just have a odd or immature sense of humor, but hopefully you guys do enjoy it also. Alright, so this one may be controversial, but next we do have the Wasteland Wall. So now in Diamond City, you're actually going to find this massive wall with, well, it's going to be like a political wall. I actually don't know if I could say what it says because I might get demonetized. I'm not sure how strict YouTube is on that kind of stuff, but either way, I imagine it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just kind of a funny or silly wall. There's not many major walls in Fallout 4, Diamond City's wall being one of the few. And I actually really like that guy painting. I feel like that just adds to the all-around scene here for whatever reason. Okay, maybe not for everyone. Maybe those of you who feel more strongly about this will not find this funny at all and think I'm being inappropriate, but I think it's just something that's kind of lighthearted and meant to be jokingly used and oddly relevant to Diamond City. Not many people go in and out of that city other than you. So to potentially counteract those who I just pissed off, we also do have LGBdeaThclaws. So what this is going to do is actually rename the Deathclaws, so they'll actually be called LGBdeaThclaws, and actually only the Chameleon Deathclaws specifically. And of course, even beyond that, the more notable thing is actually changing the color of the Deathclaws to be in alignment with the LGB flag. This was actually made a while ago in celebration of Pride Month, which is in June, not now. But either way, it's definitely an entertaining one, super simple, and honestly, it doesn't look horrible. Like, the Deathclaws actually look pretty decent with this installed. I don't know, maybe you guys will like it. This, again, was more to counteract anyone I just pissed off. Hopefully, I'm now back on your favorable side, or I pissed you off if you were on my favorable side before. But either way, download both, don't download either, or download only one. Alright, so this one's actually pretty funny. Next, we do have the SuperMutantMilkArmor. This is by M. He's a really well-known mod author, has made a ton of stuff in the past, also goes by M150. More or less, what this is going to be is an armor for Strong, one of the super mutant companions that you can get in Fallout 4. It's like a milked out piece of armor. Like, the funny part about this is it's actually like a legit piece of armor. You see, like, it is well protected with this thing. In addition, there's little milk bottles all over it, and one that's kind of pointing into his mouth, so, you know, easy access to milk in times of combat or stressful times where you can't really reach down and open one yourself. I mean, it's funny at face value, but it also makes you think, like, what possessed this guy to make this? Like, what was he doing that day that he's like, yeah, I want to have this in my game. I want my strong companion to wear some milk armor. Either way, a pretty funny one. I personally have seen this and used it quite a few times. I just never made a video on it. So maybe you want to spice up your game with this one. So last but not least, we have one that I covered a long time ago that I imagine a lot of you guys actually didn't know about. That's going to be the Institute Portal Gun. So this was actually a mod that came out again a really long time ago, back in June of 2016, and more or less allows you to create portals in Fallout 4, as you could probably guess. There's not a ton of practical applications of this, but play through the game and use this for a little while. It is so much freaking fun. I think when I filmed this video originally, like, I dumped hours upon hours just messing around with this mod because it's just so satisfying to fling enemies through portals. You can, of course, use it to fast travel if you're like on survival and want a more practical stance on it. So like place one end of the portal at Castle, another end at Red Rocket, and as you jump through, you will fast travel to that other location. Not really lore friendly, but hey, it's fun. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys did enjoy, you could leave a like or a comment on the video. It helps with YouTube's internal rating system, so this video will be promoted to more people. But that being said, let's actually jump into our psych fun fact. So this is something I wanted to start doing on all my videos, so this is like the second one. I'm going to more or less announce it at the end of every video, hopefully to encourage you guys to watch to the end, but also maybe just something fun or interesting. You can skip to the end, obviously. So today it's not as fun of a fact as yesterday, but something that's just really interesting that I learned in one of my classes. So I was taking like this psychotherapy class, which is like therapy, like what a lot of people think of when they think of psychology. My professor was someone working in that industry for a really long time, and I feel like what he said in that class, or one thing he said in that class, actually really stuck with me and didn't change my life completely, but it definitely modified it, and that's the concept of negative reinforcement. So basically what that is let's say I don't want to take out the garbage. It's like something I know I have to do, but I don't really want to do that. It's not super pleasurable to me, so I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. It's the negative part, and I'm taking away a certain action, and it's reinforcing that within me. This is actually a super powerful thing, and you don't even realize it. Think about all the times there's a minor task you want to do, like let's say it's take out the garbage, wash the dishes, take a shower. I mean, I don't know. Each time in your head you kind of say, no, I'll just do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, or something like that. It actually kind of has a stacking effect. So let's say there's 3 or 4 times I say I'm not going to take out the garbage. Now when you actually do have to take out the garbage, it becomes more of a process, more of a chore. You have to overcome all those times you negative reinforced it. It's kind of hard to explain, but just try it out. Like next time you have to go do something that you really don't want to, just do it on the next try, or even on the second try. For me personally, being conscious of this has made me way more productive and just getting rid of those like obnoxious tasks way faster. Like when I have a quiz and I wait all day to do it, I'm like, oh, I'll just do it later, I'll do it later. It's way worse and way harder to actually get that quiz done if I'm just like the first time, all right, you know what, I'll just get it over with real quick. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, again, you can download any of the mods I showed you down below, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.